pretty monumental case that had oral arguments yesterday in front of the Supreme Court.
Louisiana versus Calais.
Because part of the argument is that the questioning of how long race should continue to be a factor in redistricting.
Why do we stop there? We're talking about a Voting Rights Act that happened in the 60s.
Which is not that long
ago.
Right.
We're not talking about the 30s, the 20s, or the 1800s. It's the 60s. So let's start there. I have a grandmother who would tell me stories about how they had to go to the polling place and they had a fishbowl full of marbles. And they had to say guess how many marbles were in the fishbowl before they were allowed to go in there to vote. This is my grandmother. This isn't great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother. When you hear stories like that, we're not that far removed. So when you ask a question about how long do we consider race, you can't open the newspaper and not see something that's race-related.
Mm-hmm.
The viral video from the Brewers-Dodgers game. Not to mention the fact that they email logs of this group, young conservative
they talked about that this week too,
And just race has always been a factor and it's always there. So when you say, well, we got to put a date to stop it. Well, I would love to put a date to stop it. Tell me when it's going to stop. And then I'll be fine with that. But when you can't do that, it makes it very difficult. And we have a history. We talked about Calais. Calais's Section 2. Section 5 was already been abolished. And Section 5 was the pre-authorization, which said that if you're going to change your voting laws, you have to go to the federal government first and say, we want to do this. And they give you authorization to do it. And it was all the southern states, all the states that have some forms of discrimination. As soon as that was struck down, 115 voter restriction laws were passed. And so when you ask me, when can race stop? When can we stop considering race? You tell me.